Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
Yeah, welcome back.
There.
What are we doing today? Oh yeah, Blood Simple, rated R. Running time, 1 hour, 39 minutes. Released March 26, 1984 at the USA Network Film Festival. And then it came out January 18th, 1985 for everybody else.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Is it an 85 movie?
It snuck in there, but it's March and then January, so... Directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. Fun fact, this is their first directorial debut.
Now, they are, obviously, everybody knows the Coen Brothers. They one of them just had a movie that came out like this week or something like that.
I think it was Joel.
Yeah. Now they're working kind of separately, but still together. But I guess they decided to work
I got
separately
their
on
top
this.
fours. We haven't done them yet. You want to give those guys a try?
I'll say Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona didn't make either one.
Okay.
Oh, are they separate?
I got them
is their
spread out.
top four different?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We got some that's similar, but they're not the same, yeah.
But what could be
There's only one movie difference.
Okay, but that's fun. There's. I know one of them usually directs and one of them writes, or it's flipped who does what, but...
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou is not on their list.
And then I don't know any other ones.
My all-time favorite Coen Brothers movie is Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou. I love it.
I never saw it.
Obviously, Fargo has to be on there.
Fargo is on both of them, yes.
And Big Lebowski has to be on both
Big
of them.
Lebowski is not.
On either one of them?
On either one.
Oh, God damn. How about Blood Simple?
No.
How about Miller's Crossing?
No.
Wow. How about The Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
On both of them.
Interesting. I mean, I can name all their movies, so let's just give us what they got.
Inside Llewyn Davis is also the one
that's one of the
both.
ones I have not seen.
And the one for Joel Coen is The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Okay.
And the one for Ethan Coen is A Serious Man.
Interesting. I think those are some of the ones that they've actually done separately.
Yeah. I'm going to do the first IMDb description, then I'll give you the second half of
I've been
Ready?
drinking, though. Hang on.
That makes it even more fun, yeah. The owner of a seedy small-town Texas bar discovers that one of his employees is having an affair with his wife. A chaotic chain of misunderstandings, lies, and mischief ensues after he devises a plot to have them murdered. Right there.
Have them murdered. Texas bar owner Julian Marty, who is generally regarded as not a nice person, hires shady private detective Lauren Visser in an incredible Emmet Walsh role, who is able to obtain what Marty requests. Evidence, in this instance, photography, that his wife Abby and one of his bartenders, Ray, are having an affair. Let me take a moment to say, I think she's and Dana are awesome. Back to the movie description. As Ray and Abby realize that Marty has found out about them, it allows them to plan for their future away from Marty while being upfront with Marty about the situation, which was obviously the worst part of this entire movie. When you cheat on your boss, like, don't keep going back to his place.
Yeah.
Marty, in turn, decides to hire Visser, Emmet Walsh, once
Dana's
again,
favorite,
this time to kill Abby and Ray and dispose of their bodies so that they won't be found. I mean, if you dispose of the bodies, you don't want them to be found. The out-in-the-open affair and the contract hit lead to some actions based on self-interest and standoffs of sorts between the four players, which is compounded in complexity by some of the wrong assumptions and what has happened with an innocent bystander, another of Marty's bartenders, Maurice, potentially and unwittingly acting in the scenario. Wow, man.
Holy cow.
And I do love you guys a lot.
So was
You
this...
didn't have to cram that in there.
Yeah. Did the Coen Brothers also do Burn after
Yes.
reading? Okay, because there were some things in this movie that I was like, oh, seemed kind of miscommunication.
There are very early Coen Brothers
It was very
tropes in
Three's
this
Company
movie,
like.
for
Yeah,
sure.
we had some Three's Company like issues.
There were like 2 or 3 times where I was like, if I didn't know I was watching a Coen Brothers movie, I'd know I was watching a Coen Brothers movie by what is happening right now on the screen.
Yeah.
This is the first film by Joel and Ethan Coen. We mentioned that. Passion led to adultery. Adultery led to murder. It all seems so simple. The thriller chiller hit of New York and London. Breaking up is hard.
Which is funny because they weren't in London or New York.
And then Dead in the Heart of Texas.
There you go. You know, one of the things that you may or may not know is they're very good friends with Sam Raimi, and he wrote Hudsucker Proxy, which they directed, and so I think he might have something to do with this. I don't know. They were all kind of
He
like
might have seen his name in something.
Sam Raimi's the guy that
It's
did
been a
the
couple
Evil
weeks.
Dead
I
movies.
apologize. I don't have that on the top of my head.
And the Spider-Man
No, I've
movie.
heard his name
Spider-Man.
before.
He did Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. He
Oh,
did
he
those
did?
3 movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's Bruce Campbell's buddy.
He is. He is. I know your cast. It's short. There's only 4
I don't
people
have
really.
much there. We'll talk. John Getz played Ray. Maybe you've seen him in The Social Network or The Fly.
I honestly never saw this guy before in my life.
Yeah.
Then we had Frances McDormand playing Abby. We haven't had any of her movies yet.
No, I
was
think this is her first movie,
yeah.
and I mean she's not great in this, but she becomes
You
great
could see
because
her coming out of her shell.
I mean she won the best actress for Fargo, I think, and even better than that, she was in 3 Billboards, which I thought she was great.
Yeah. I
never
in.
saw that.
Really,
Yeah.
I really
That's a
thought she
good
was
movie.
great in that. And did she win a 3rd time? I'm not blanking
sure.
if she
She
won a
might
3rd
have.
time, but she's like one of those people that.
But that Fargo and 3 Billboards are in her top 4.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of
I'm probably
anything
not
else.
going to be able to get her other 2.
Moonrise Kingdom. That's that whatchamacallit movie.
Sounds like an anime movie.
Darjeeling Limited. He does, and Wes Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Not a big fan of his.
That's Moonrise Kingdom, and then Almost Famous.
Wow,
Frances
I didn't
McDormand.
even know she was in that. Well, but I'm shocked by that.
I don't remember
I wonder
that
what
she
she
was in it,
played in
yeah.
that. She probably played the mom.
Playing Julian Marty was Dan Hedaya. That's a face that you've seen in a lot of things, but you don't remember him.
I know him from 2 specific.
Oh,
I
yeah,
wonder what
me
two
too.
things you know him from.
I'll let Dana say the
I don't
first
know what
one.
she knows
He
him
was
from.
Mel Horowitz in Clueless.
Very good.
I got a
Cher's
shovel and a
dad.
45. You won't be missed. And he was Nick Tortelli in Cheers.
Yeah.
Clueless is in his top 4. Not Cheers didn't make his top 4.
How
but
about the spin-off series, The Tortellis,
No.
with him? No? Okay. Because I remember watching that and being like, oh, God, with Casey Kasem's wife as his...
Gene Kasem, yeah.
Yeah, she was Loretta. Hey, Loretta. The way he said that name on the show. Oh, man, I don't know anything else by him except Blood Simple now.
He was in The Usual Suspects, Mulholland Drive, and Commando.
Damn, I don't remember him in any of those, and I've seen all of those.
He had a lot of credits to him. So I
Yeah,
didn't even...
I guess he's one
Yeah.
of those guys that just pops up and stuff.
Someone else with a lot of credits was Emmet Walsh, Private Detective Lauren Visser.
As of this podcast,
We've
still
seen it.
alive, right?
Yes, he is still
Okay.
alive, and he's was the last thing we saw him in was The Righteous Gemstones, which is working on season 4 right
He
now.
was John Goodman's dad.
Oh,
in
that
He
was
like,
him?
That's
He's
him,
like
yeah.
95 or something
Oh, my
like
God.
that. He was the one that had the gun and the
Obviously
long
looks a lot
johns.
different. Yeah, and he's very thin now compared to
Well,
what he was back
He's
then.
95.
Yeah.
He's probably
Wow.
lost a lot of weight through age.
Blood Simple made his top 4 too.
He's
Really?
one of those guys that...
But we've
What?
already done him in the movie for the podcast. Do you remember?
Oh, shit. I guess I don't.
Blade Runner,
Oh, of course he's in Blade Runner, yeah.
The Jerk.
Yes, he's in The Jerk. I hope the 4th one is Fletch.
No.
Because he's Dr. Jellyfinger.
The 4th one, you're going to be shocked. It's Critters.
I never saw
That's
Critters.
a great 80s horror crap.
Is that in 84? We getting the Critters
I don't know.
this
I
year?
think we get to do it, but I don't know what year we did it.
Damn, I totally forgot he was in Blade Runner.
But there's multiple Critters movies, so if we missed it, we'll get Critters 2 or 3.
we'll just talk about the previous cast. I mean, he's one of those guys that when you see him, you're like, oh, this guy, okay. But
Yeah.
I'll always know him as the doctor in Fletch. He's the
Yeah.
one that gives Chevy Chase the proctological
We got a full
exam.
fist there, Doc.
Just drop your shirts and bend over, Mr. Mabar.
Playing Helene Trend voice, uncredited, was Holly Hunter.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Helene
that. She was a voice.
Trends.
She was a voice on the phone or
The voice, yeah, she was just a voice. You didn't.
Yeah.
It was just her.
Was she like the secretary? Because he called the secretary once or twice, right? Is that who that was?
I don't remember now.
And playing
Holly Hunter, really? Because I think, well, Holly Hunter is.
Then she's in Raising Arizona.
Yeah, she's a Coen.
So she must be
person.
one of them,
Yeah.
one of their regulars.
I wonder
yeah.
why they didn't use her as a person, as a face. Interesting. All right.
And playing Marty's vomiting was Barry Sonnenfeld, uncredited.
Barry's vomit. Barry Sonnenfeld. Yeah, he's one of their boys too.
Yeah.
He's a Coen brother. He's like a like their like what do you call that? Like cinematographer or
Yeah.
something like that. Like before he became a
gaffer.
director,
They're
the best boy.
Yeah.
Before he became a director of his
Grit
own,
definer, yeah.
Barry Sonnenfeld's like He's one of those guys.
He's obviously done big movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a fan of.
Is it all Will Smith movies? Is it
Three
Men
of
in
them
Black?
Men in Black, Wild Wild West,
Wild
Men in
Wild
Black
West.
3, Addams Family Values.
Okay. I think he did Addams Family 1, too.
And I got this for you. On the advice of Sam Raimi, the Coens went door to door showing potential investors a 2-minute trailer of the film they planned to make. They ultimately raised $750,000 in a little over a year, enough to begin production of the movie.
We should do that, man. Door to door. Just
We have ideas. We can make a
$10
movie.
for my movie.
Okay.
You can
I'll
be,
give you
well, even
$10.
you can be in the credits.
Oh, hell yeah. It's like, I guess that's what
we'll get
Kickstarter
we'll
is
get
now,
an
right?
IMDb credit.
I'll
Then
give you guys
then-
$10.
Then if you get the IMDb credit, then you could be part of that. Then you'll be able to get the screeners.
Oh.
And maybe you'll be able to vote for the Academy.
Oh,
How fun would that be?
that'd be awesome. I'm voting.
If I'm voting.
What do you kids got for this movie? I don't have a lot for this movie. This
Neither do
is
I.
Frances McDormand's first movie, by the way. Her first.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that annoyed me about this movie is how everyone sleeps in front of a window with no curtains. It really bothered me.
think-
Her husband was out to murder her and she knows it. So her and her lover sleep in front of a ginormous window that has no curtains right there at the bottom of it. Like, why would you do that? That
I
just
think the
drove
thing
me
that
nuts.
annoyed me most
Drove
about
me
this
nuts.
movie was that he's cheating on his boss's wife.
With his boss
with
wife,
his
yeah.
boss's wife, and he goes back to the bar twice
Yeah.
to talk to him about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
He's asking for
You
it.
should be leaving town.
Oh my god.
I did find this out about Emmet Walsh was paid his whole salary in cash, which was paid to him as a per diem every day on set. In fact, in several scenes, you can see the outline of the money in his pockets.
I guess
my
he was
God.
like big enough at this time, not because he was never big. He was never a star, but he was a great character actor. So he's like one of those gets. You're like, hey, we can get you Emma Walsh, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, we just have to pay him every day. Like when
That's
Quentin
like- that's
Tarantino
like
got
when you gotta
Bruce
keep-
Willis, and you're just like, oh my god, how do you get him?
Like when you got to get a guy, we got to get Coke here, because we got to keep him on set. If we don't have Coke on set, he's going to leave.
Oh my god! Speaking of Coke, can I just diversion? I was watching the Kennedy Center Honors when Jon Stewart got it. I mean, this is years ago, but Dave Chappelle was doing it, and he's like, "I'm making Half Baked, and we needed a star to be in Half Baked." And Jon Stewart stepped up. He's like, "I'll be in your movie." And he's like, "I don't even know if Jon Stewart smokes weed. You look more like a Coke guy." Just the look on Jon Stewart's face, man. So funny.
What do we
So
got?
anyway, I have so many notes. Well, I don't have so many
Yeah,
notes.
I
Let's
saw
hear it.
your
I'm
notes
out.
from over here. I was like, wow,
No,
I
no,
have
it's,
two
it's
lines.
really. I have many more notes for the next movie we'll be
Yeah,
doing.
me too.
So
Me too.
I'm excited for that one. I'm
I'm
trying to
not
push for
even
that one.
sure. I'm not even sure what a lot of my notes mean. Like one of my ones says, "Yikes! All that body hair." I'm not even sure who that's related
Oh my god,
to.
yeah.
I'm
That's
sure it's
funny.
Nick
How are we
Tortelli.
releasing this? Are we
Probably.
releasing this with the mini or?
No, I'll do the mini. What's today? Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'll release this tomorrow on Wednesday.
This tomorrow. What
regular
about the
Wednesday,
mini, though?
On Sunday.
Okay.
And and then we do the other one next month, Wednesday. Yeah.
And if we can start doing it more if we start backlogging.
So the first part of this movie, I don't know if you remember it or not because it's been a while,
Swab
is in the car,
yeah.
with the wipers going. The wipers weren't doing anything. Like you couldn't see anything outside those windshields. So why were they even bothering with the wipers?
That opening scene with Ray and Abby in the car was shot in a garage. 3 different cars were used.
I guess that's why. So you don't see through the windshield.
Well, you're not seeing. They're not actually driving, but
Yeah.
oh man, like I wish I knew what my notes meant. Discounts for alcoholics. Sign me up. I don't know what that means.
How about this one? Despite being pretty warmly reviewed and remembered, the Coen brothers both declared this as their worst film when interviewed for the 2000 book, My First Movie.
So I think I'm going to go away from my notes now because I don't think this movie
The
needs to
first
be
film
discussed.
with Ethan Coen calling it crude. There's no getting around it, and Joel Coen saying, "I think it's pretty damn bad."
Yeah, it's not a good looking movie. It's not a very interesting movie.
No.
It's just there are things
It's one
in
of those
this
movies
Coen Brothers.
it came out when it came out. It just gets lumped into that little category.
But there are things in this movie that you can feel are There's a scene where there's the tracking shot where it's on the bot, like a Sam Raimi kind of like where the evil's following them with the camera. There's a shot in this where I'm just like,
can I take that from you?
I'm just like, damn. I'm like, Coen Brothers do this in every single one of their movies. I was like, I feel like I know this because they do this in every one of their movies. They did it in Raising Arizona. They did it in Big Lebowski. They did in all the.
I thought it interesting was like some of the posters have a period after Simple, some don't, like the name. So it was just left off. Like the title might have been Blood Simple period, but I don't know.
There was one scene in this where there's a bug crawling around Emmet Walsh's face, and I was like, they must have filmed this all in one take because they cut back to Nick Tortelli and then they cut back to him, and the bug is still like just crawling around. I'm like, how did they? First of all, how did they get that bug on his face and he didn't swat it right?
Yeah.
Like they must have said, okay, use it. Like when Bellick eats the fly and raises a lost ark, it just crawls into his mouth and it keeps talking. I could not believe there was a bug on his face, and when they cut back to him, the bug was still in this. I'm like, oh, that bug is now like a co-star in this movie.
Yeah, right. I didn't have him in the cast.
The only notes I really have are things that were annoying me, like sleeping under windows. I just wrote people need to talk, which is, again, he went through that whole thing, if I remember correctly, to kill her husband because he thought she did it, but they were talking on the phone. Why didn't you just say you killed them, or what did you do? No, he just made a couple little remarks and then hung up. I'm like, that
The plot of this is not strong.
It wasn't.
It's not a strong plot.
I thought it was a little boring. It was slow. I was like, definitely multitasking.
It definitely needed
a lot.
more action. Yeah. The gas station where Ray uses the payphone at the 59-minute mark is located in Texas. There was a sign there that had the amount of how much it was for gas. Obviously, you guys don't remember because it's been a while. So for full service cash, regular was $1.05 a gallon. Unleaded was $1.14, and super was $1.19, and a bag of ice was 60 cents.
Bag of ice. I want to see what $1.05 in 1984 money is worth now. It's worth. Oh shit! I didn't. Google let me down. 1984 is too much like a movie title.
I hate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm letting this down.
The famous body disposal scene lasts just over 13 minutes and contains no dialogue except for what is heard on the car radio.
That was a pretty cool scene, though. I did like that when he dragged him out to the desert. Wherever they were.
Field. I was kind of confused if it was desert or like a field, like cornfield.
All right, so $1.05 in 1984 is worth $3.15 today. So basically,
that's about right.
Gas is like $3.15 now.
Yeah.
So there's no difference.
Yeah.
So everybody
That's
complains
about
about gas being too high. It's just the same as
Now I got to tell people to shut up. It's the same as it was in 1984.
Reagan's America, it was the same price.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was the same as 84. Shut up.
So he drags his body out to the desert and buries him. He never changes his clothes. He's wearing the bloody clothes that he's
that's right.
pulled this guy around in. I'm really having trouble
These
with
guys
this
weren't
movie
taking
because-
they weren't taking too much in their cleanliness, I don't think, this movie,
Yeah.
But
I know it's a tough movie to remember. If you want to get right to scores, we can go
it's
there.
one of those movies that I don't think it's a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, I mean, I could talk about the Coens all day, but
Not this movie.
oh yeah, one of the questions I had, he steps on the gun. So Emmet Walsh kills Nick Tortelli, or doesn't actually kill him, shoots him, and the gun's lying on the floor. And then when he
kicks it,
steps
right?
on it, walking into the bar, the husband, it goes off.
Yeah.
I was like, does that work? Does the gun not need a trigger pull? Because
Well, why don't you tell about your favorite scene with the hands?
Yeah, so the scene where the detective is in the apartment of whose
Emmet
apartment
Walsh
was it?
was in the detective.
The boyfriend's apartment. He's in the bathroom. She's locked him in there, right? He is reaching through a window all the way around another window, like a good 6-foot reach with his chubby arms. She nails his hand down to the windowsill, but then is able to then over here, around the mirror and the sink, able to punch a hole through the wall, while his other arm's like
Still,
that was an amazing
it was
feat.
And then
Amazing.
Walsh is an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I really like him.
Yeah, go gadget arms.
He has
I
jelly
wish he would come to
hands.
Chiller. That would be a good autograph.
Yeah.
You haven't
Emmet
seen
Walsh.
Fletch. He's Dr. Jellyfingers in
Oh, you've
Fletch.
never seen? You've never
No.
seen? Oh, that's
No.
coming up in a few years.
Fletch will be a 3-hour podcast.
Oh God, great.
I don't think.
Oh, we
Blood
get a
Simple-
guest for that,
I don't
you
think,
think?
Blood Simple. I don't think Blood Simple is going to be 20 minutes, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We got
You think
another
we'll get
one
a
coming.
guest for Fletch?
Oh man, I have one person in mind for Fletch, but he hasn't been on the show yet, so I would like to get my buddy Bruce on that for that because
He said he would do one, right?
we were big Fletch fans back in the day.
Well, I say we get the scores.
That's
then.
fine. That's
You
fine.
okay
This
with
is
that,
a
Dana?
short one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good.
Also, it's been 2 weeks since I saw this, so it's not as fresh in my
I'll kick
mind.
it off then. I'm gonna go. It's not my favorite movie. I don't want to see this movie ever again. Really, it's a 68 for me.
Interesting that you gave it 68. I gave it a 70, and I was just like, I think I started this by saying I wanted to watch all the Coen Brothers movies in
Yes.
a row,
Yeah.
and then as I watched Blood Simple, I'm like, oh shit, it's on our list of movies to do this year, so we might as well just do it. This movie's not good. I know that Raising Arizona is coming soon for them, and then all their classics, Fargo,
Yeah, they're gonna have a
Lebowski, and
great-
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Great
I'm big
streak of
fans
success,
of the
yeah.
Coen Brothers. This seems like a college movie. This seems like their first movie.
Yeah.
It's their
Yeah.
first movie. So 70.
70, nice.
I thought it was super boring. I was really boring. I was bored the whole time. I gave it a 55.
And that's fine. Like, this movie does not.
Did you get anything from
Thrill.
Michelle or?
She might have fallen asleep.
Did you get anything from
The
Tara?
next-
No, she didn't like
The
it
next
either.
movie we do too, Michelle will have also fallen asleep during.
Did she fall asleep? That's so
very
good.
that's very common that Michelle says, "Oh yeah, let's watch that movie," and then 2 minutes later I look over, I'm like, she's asleep.
Son of a gun.
She's got 2 dogs sleeping on. Her person takes up the whole couch with 2 dogs laying on top of her. I'm like, I'll leave them all over there. I'm just gonna sit over here and watch this movie.
Well, I guess we'll wrap this one up. It's been a short week, guys, but look for us out on Spreaker. Download, rate, subscribe if you do all those fun things. It's the Exciting and New podcast on all our socials. I'm the Jazoo over there on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. It's been the Exciting and New podcast. I'm Jason.
Egonzo1 on Instagram, Egonzo1970 on Twitter.
I think you might
reverse
flip
that.
Yeah.
I'm Andy. I should have spelled my name backwards.
Dana Caps on TikTok and Twitter.
Nice.
Dana Caps 77
You fucked
on
up as usual.
Instagram.
Reading
I'm
it.
Dana. That's great.
Meh, 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 meh. Meh, 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 meh. Meh, 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 meh.